Alrighty, hello. So today in class we talked about graphing polynomial functions, and so here we did this one together in our notes. We did this long factored form. Now we didn't get the chance to do the second one, which is right here below. So I'm going to move this real quick. Here we go. Okay, so we have this polynomial function. So we have x squared plus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 3. Now, we're going to still do the same thing. So we're going to eventually graph this, but we first need to find what are the zeros, right? So I'll show my work on the side here. So we want to find for A, what are the zeros? Okay, we want to figure out what those are. Okay, so here, this is nice, right? We already have these in its factored form. So we just set each of these factors equal to 0. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to do x squared plus 1 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, now I'm going to do these first two because I already can tell that these are going to be nice and easy. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I add 2 on both sides, I get x equals 2. And then plus 3, get x equals positive 3. Okay, so here for this one, we're going to do the same thing. Subtract 1, we get x squared equals negative 1, right? But we need to get x by itself, so we're going to take the square root of it. And we get x equals positive or negative square root of negative 1. Now this one's actually going to give us an imaginary solution or non-real solution. So it's actually going to give us 2 non-real solutions. Okay. So essentially we have 2 real solutions, which are x equals 2 and x equals 3. Okay, so we found our zeros in this case. So moving on to the next question, we have what are the solutions, right? So the solutions again would be, in this case, actually our zeros are only 2. Our zeros are only our real solutions. So zeros are only 2 and 3. So 2 and 3. Okay? And then for B, when it asks for the solutions, when f of x equals 0, it's going to be, again, just the real solutions. So it's just going to be 2 and 3. Okay? Just 2 and 3. Now, we said in class if we want to find the x-intercepts, right? That's when they cross the x-axis. So that's going to be, again, 2 and 3. Okay. Now, I'm going to show how these 2 non-real solutions, how they look like when they're graphed. You're going to see that it's not going to cross the x-axis. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So if I were to roughly sketch this, I'll draw my x-axis, and my y-axis. Okay, so I know I have solutions or zeros also at 2 and 3, so I'm going to go 1, 2. So 1 at 2, and I also have 1 at 3. I think this graph is going to be easier to see if I actually extend my scale. So let me go ahead and redo this. So let's say, sorry about that. Let me say that this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I just extended my scale. So instead of it being right instead of this being 2, this will be 2. So here we have x equals 2 and x equals 3. So these are where my 2 zeros are going to cross in my polynomial. Okay, but what happens is that here we have 2 non-real solutions. So when you graph this on Desmos, it's going to look roughly around this. So it's going to be somewhere, let's see, 4, 6. So it's going to be somewhere where it kind of like goes, I'll get a different color. It goes from, basically it comes up, and it's going to go like, basically kind of does this little wave there, and it goes all the way down to 2, and then it goes back up all the way up to infinity here. Okay, so it looks roughly around like this. Now these are where x equals 2 and x equals 3. But because these are 2 non-real solutions, those solutions actually occur somewhere up here. Notice that the shape of our graph is a little different. That's what's happening. But they don't cross the x-axis. Therefore, that's why you don't have 2 other points down here. Okay. And then for D. Okay, so D, now we can talk about the degree. So if we go back up here and we look at the degree, we can see that the highest degree is 2 here, the highest degree is 1, the highest degree is 1 there. So when we're talking about the degree, we can multiply those together. So x squared times x to the first times x to the first. When you add all of these together, we get 3, 4. So x to the 4th. Okay. So in this case, let me scroll this up a bit. So in this case, we can say the degree is 4, which is greater than the number of x-intercepts. Okay. So, and that would be it. Okay. So for your homework, you're going to be asked to graph certain things. I want you to really pay attention to graphing on Desmos and getting more comfortable in seeing this in factored form. Okay. Because remember, our goal is to see how we can use our factored form of a polynomial to start graphing and identifying zeros. Okay. Well, that is it, and start getting started on your homework. And let me know if you have any questions. Comments below are always appreciated. Bye-bye.